I would like to ask? I hope there are questions. They always add a whole dimension to the meditation. Often people ask me, well, what is the end game? What's, the result, the reward of doing deep inner work, spiritual practice? And the answers are not terribly complicated. I mean, the answers really are what every human being wishes to have in their life, to be happy, to have love, to have the strength inside themselves to deal with the kind of world we live in without allowing the world to throw us off balance and to, not, allowing the world to make us lose our focus on what is real, and what is an illusion. I mean, I think every human being, I don't care who you talk to, would say, yes, I want to be a happy person. I want to have joy and love in my heart. I want to be around people that see that joy and love and really respect it and embrace me because of it. I mean, it's the greatest reward that anyone can have because what we come here to learn is how to become human, how to develop all aspects of our humanity: love, compassion, forgiveness, patience, also ambition in the world, to succeed in the world, which doesn't deny us love and compassion and forgiveness. All of these things work together, and they are the end result of the development of a chakra system that's strong enough to do what I'm talking about. I always say a chakra system is like a musical instrument, you know. If it's not fine-tuned, I mean, try to play a Bach, concerto without fine-tuning the instruments. I mean, it'll sound terrible. Well, people live daily without fine-tuning the chakra system. And it's one of the reasons there's so much craziness in the world. Their very connection with higher creative energy, just disappears, becomes like static on a radio. So I think there is a reward, and it's a wonderful reward. It's a sacred reward. It really enables a human being to live here like a human being, with joy, with love, with happiness. And the reason for it, they have built that kind of system inside themselves, that all of the insanity in the world just kind of bounces off them. They say, no, this is not real. Yes, it goes on, but I can go above it. I can transcend it. I can find a deeper reality, a spiritual reality, as a way of living my life. I mean, it's really what every teacher through the history of time, has taught. God is love. If you want paradise, just open your heart. Messiah lives in every human being's heart. And if you open there and you experience gratitude and love, you know, takes you to a whole new level of consciousness in your daily living. Does anyone have a question they would like to ask? I hope this is clear. I say all the time, I'm not interested in disciples. I'm not interested in students. I'm interested in people that want a spiritual life. And my job is to nurture that place in them that truly wants that. Not to make them into disciples and students and this and that and the other. It's not quantity, it's the quality of what people bring to this class. And I made that kind of commitment years ago, because frankly, I got tired of running ashrams, spiritual centers, and just being a father to so many people all the time. I said, well, I want people that can build systems inside where they can have their own independent connection with God. Does anyone have a question they would like to ask? Come on, somebody has to have a question. Does anyone have a question? Yes, Lisa. Lisa.
Um, my question is when recently I've been seeing and feeling um not love and not kindness in me. I've been seeing, parts that are angry, that are hateful, that are um in pain. And I realize that I've always been trying to heal myself to get rid of those parts. But it's actually feeling quite good to allow them and let them exist bef like instead of just suppressing them entirely.
You can't get rid of that, Leisha, by suppressing. You can only get rid of all that anger, that insecurity in yourself by opening and letting them go. Letting them go, let go of them. If you suppress that, if you use your energy to repress anger, fear, insecurity, it just gets worse because they get buried so deep inside you that God knows the kinds of problems they will cause. But you open your heart, you quiet your mind, you relax inside, you get harmony back, and you let it go. Let it become part of the river of life that flows right there. You release it. But don't release it by doing damage to another human being, because then it'll come back to you. Just build a system inside that is strong enough to where that kind of energy can't control your life anymore. You have freed yourself of rage, of anger, and you stop seeing the world that way. You know, you see the world in terms of when you see is somebody, maybe it's me, I don't know, but there's like static and it's like anyway, sounds like I have an echo. Does anybody, when you finally look, I had that for so many years when I was younger, Leisha, I really did. I was angry at everything. I protested, I fought, I was just angry at all the bullshit I used to see in the world. And one day I said, Stuart, it's not going to go away. You have to change. And when I finally recognized that in myself, I started to let go. I started to release all of that anger, that fear, and I built a system to where that couldn't live inside me anymore. But if you suppress it, if you repress it, if you do any of that stuff, it'll just get worse. If you just open your heart and let it go, replace the anger with joy, with love, with happiness. You too can be a happy person. You don't have to be filled with that kind of rage all the time. But you've got to make the effort to get big enough inside to truly surrender it, let it go, not to repress it. When I talk about getting free of anger, I don't mean repressing and suppressing that kind of energy. I mean, letting it go. Release it. And then it just becomes energy. It's no longer anger. It's no longer fear. It's no longer insecurity, rage. It just becomes energy. And I can only tell you honestly, I had that problem for years. From a very young man. I was a very angry young man. I was also a very insecure young person, and I didn't trust life. And it came back and bit me right in the ass all the time. And when I started trusting it and letting go of my anger and not being holding on to it, all of a sudden what came back was things that were very beautiful.
Thank you.
Stop being so angry. You know, you're a beautiful person, Alicia. Don't be so angry. There's nothing to be angry about. Just like yourself, love yourself, your own self-worth. You are here to have a wonderful life. You're not here to be angry at the world. Just love yourself, like yourself. I like you.
Me too.
I really do. So, you know, when you left for a little bit, I missed you, you know?
Me too, Lisha.
Huh?
I said me too.
No, so just like yourself, love yourself, you know, and you'll see what you're going to start attracting in your life is not all this crazy. You'll start attracting people that will really like you and love you and support you in your life.
Thank you so much.
No, you're welcome, dear. God bless you. You know, does anyone else have a question they would like to ask?
Stuart, it's me,
Yeah.
Flora.
Yes, Laura.
Um, I think it's something wrong with me because every time is something new, it's coming up, and it's difficult, more difficult. It's darkness, and really, I don't know what is happening because I thought I was good. Yeah.
Laura, look, can I tell you something? There's no end to the amount of problems in every human being. And the blessing is that it's coming up and you can get rid of it. And there'll be other problems and other things and other irritations. And it just goes on for one's lifetime. You just get strong enough to be able to let go of them as they come up.
It's something in my body. It's not outside.
Yeah,
It's coming.
yes, there's something in my body too. It comes up. You think I don't have problems? I'm telling you, I can sit down here and tell you some of the things going on in my life that are really serious problems. But I've learned how to get quiet and deal with them and not allow them to affect the balance and the harmony inside myself. And that's what's happening, Flora. I mean, look, I remember when you first came and I said, oh God, this is not going to be an easy, you know, and then I saw you grow and change, and it was amazing how you grew and changed. And now you're touching other things in you that need to be worked through. Use everything you've learned in the last year, year and a half to work through these other things.
I try, but I don't know. It's something scares me sometimes because I was sick. I had pain in all my body, and maybe it's work I don't like to go back to work. I don't know.
Who knows? But whatever it is, it's your life, dear. And you have to really be responsible for learning how to live it with an open heart, with love, and to be able to transform the pain into a spiritual life. And that's possible. Every human being can do that. And I know it's not easy, but my God, what options do we all have? You think I don't have pain?
Really?
I have pain. I went to my acupuncturist yesterday. Oh my God. He
Okay.
did some serious work on me yesterday. Really, and a very good acupuncturist. And I went to see him, good friend of mine, yesterday. And he, boom, needles everywhere.
Yes, I did it too. It's helped me. It helps me.
Yeah.
But now today I couldn't do anything, and now with meditation, I could touch something very dark inside, deep, deep, deep.
Well, look, I'm saying this to you, Flora, and anybody sitting here. We all have something dark in ourselves. If we didn't have something dark in ourselves, none of us would be here working on ourselves. And those dark things, those difficult things that exist inside every human being are the things that really make us work on ourselves. They're not negative. They come to us. It's like my teacher Rudy said, said without an irritation, an oyster wouldn't have a pearl. All of these things are like our irritation that bring us to truly work on ourselves. And instead of being upset and defeated by them, we should say, okay, this is the job I have to do. This is the work I have to do on me.
This is a difficult part for me, to like the darkness. I think that's his
Well, what do
problem.
you want to do? Hate the darkness? Well, what does that do?
I don't
By
know.
liking, I say, just look, it makes you work on yourself. So don't be angry at it. Say,
Okay.
okay, all right, this is what I have to do. Nobody's, I've never met a pure person in my life, ever, ever. I've never met a person in my life that doesn't have work to do on themselves. I meet very few people that do the work on themselves, but I meet an awful lot of people that have to do work on themselves.
Okay.
And that darkness, that anger, what Leisha expressed, it's just telling you what you got to do. Do it instead of complaining about it.
It helps that nobody you meet doesn't help, doesn't
Nobody
have
loves you. Laura, I love you. Okay, you got one person right here.
Thank you. Thank
I
you.
love you.
Because I love you too.
Right, so stop complaining, dear. Do the work. You have somebody in the world, halfway around the world, okay? Not in Norway, in Connecticut. Okay.
Because I'm scared to meet a person who I can't love him because I'm waiting to be pure before I meet
Way to be
somebody.
pure. Look, you're never going to be pure, so you might as well love them, okay? Does anyone else have a question you would like to ask?
Thank you.
You're welcome, dear. Does anyone else have a question? Okay, there will be meditation on Tuesday. I'm looking forward to seeing them. I think to me, this class is really like a miracle to see people here from Israel, from the West Coast of the United States, from Germany, it's unbelievable, Norway, Brazil, it's unbelievable. I think this is a conscious use of Zoom, of tech, all this technical stuff, that people can connect here all over the world. And it's amazing to me. God bless you all.
God bless you too. Thank you so much.
And there'll be class on Tuesday. And just one last announcement, I told you that next Sunday, not next Sunday, I got to take a vacation. I've been doing this I mean, this has been very intense. So I'm going to take 3 or 4 days. There won't be class, but there will be class the following Thursday after next Sunday. So thank you. God bless you all. And I'm looking forward to seeing everybody on Tuesday. Thank you.
God bless you
Thank
too.
you, Stuart. Thank
Thank you,
you.
Stuart.
Stuart.
Thank you, Stuart.
so much.